This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
It's time for a listener mailbag featuring your emails and voice memos on all things Hallmark. But before that, just a reminder, if you want to participate in a future listener mailbag, the best way to do that is by emailing us. We are girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com, or you can send a voice memo. You're going to hear one in just a minute. And you can do that by calling 949-329-8090 and leaving us a message. Let's just hop right in with our first voice memo from listener Dawn. Are you ready?
I am.
Hi, this is Dawn Barris. I am a longtime listener but first-time caller. I was listening to your recap today of Mistletoe Murders, and I do have to agree that so far this season is by far better than last season, and I thought that would be hard to top. Overall, if Hallmark is looking to gain new viewers, especially in those younger demographics, I think this season has proved to be a real winner. Even my niece, my 14-year-old niece, has decided to start tuning in. She's watched Mistletoe Murders and actually sat through Ted Cooper twice. We've made it a tradition to kind of watch the different shows, and I think the quality of the shows has gotten much better now that there's fewer movies, and it's a lot easier for us to keep up with. So I've been really pleased so far with everything that Hallmark has offered for the Christmas season. And my whole household is now watching instead of just me with them kind of popping in every now and then. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
What do you think?
Let's talk Mistletoe Murders first.
Yeah.
I agree that this season is really good. I also think it's so smart of them to, like Dawn says, like if they want to reach a wider demographic, I think it's so smart for Mistletoe Murders to feature a teenager. I think that's one of the best ways you're going to get a younger demographic if you're looking to add teenagers to your watching audience.
Yeah, like The Way Home.
Right, exactly.
Their younger stars do a ton of social media content.
Yeah.
A ton, which I love. Like that's where the people are. They're posting TikToks constantly and then posting them on Instagram as well. So yeah, you want to get the people, you want to find the people where they are.
Yeah, it's smart. It's smart. And it's a really good, great show. I wish there were more episodes. I'm going to talk about it in our review of episodes 3 and 4.
It is, I agree with you. I agree. I would love to get into that. That'll come out next week for the listeners, but we will be talking about that. A friend recently asked, she was like, should I start Mistletoe Murders? Is it as good as you guys are saying it is? I'm like, yeah, I think you'd actually really like it.
Time out. I'm hurt that a listener or a friend is asking if something is as good as we say it is.
Well, this person isn't a Hallmark watcher. So I think they're like, if I'm not in on all things Hallmark, would I like it?
Okay.
And I think the answer is yes.
I think so too.
She's also watching Finding Mr. Christmas and enjoying it and messaging me each week with her thoughts. But season 1 of Mistletoe Murders is on Amazon Prime because she doesn't have Hallmark Plus. So she's like, where can I get episode 1? So I found it. Did we know that it was on Amazon Prime? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I looked and it is there. So if you want season 1 and you don't have Hallmark Plus, as a reminder, you can get Hallmark Plus for free if you want to binge a season like that by using your library card and the Hoopla digital app. But I want to talk really briefly about the number of movies we have this year. I absolutely do not feel like we're missing out by not having 40 plus movies. For me, there's plenty of holiday content. And as someone who's consuming all of the Hallmark content, kind of like that I have a little bit of an opportunity to catch the Netflix content. Like there's a little bit of room in my schedule. I can watch our favorite holiday movies as well. I imagine we might ramp back up to a bigger catalog next year.
Yeah, I think so.
But maybe not. Maybe not with the series. I think Mistletoe Murders is doing well. I'm curious to see how 12 Dates Till Christmas does. But I'm not at all bothered by the number of movies we have this year.
I'm trying to figure out considering the number of hours I spent over the last 2 days consuming Hallmark entertainment and prepping for podcasts,
Right?
I don't think it would be possible if there was a 40 plus slate this year.
No.
It wouldn't be possible. So I think it's plenty. And we've been talking for years and years about quality over quantity.
Right.
Do you think we're getting quality movies?
I've been very pleased by the quality of the movies we've seen this year. I can't really explain it, but I feel like a proud parent about the success of the Keller Christmas Vacation for some reason. I think it was kind of an unexpected success. It wasn't one of the movies that I think people were like, oh, I'm waiting for the new Russell Hainline. I'm waiting for the new Three Wiser Men. Right? For me, it kind of surprised me how much I liked it and the fan reaction. And I've seen people share their rankings of the movie so far, and they're putting it at 1 and 2.
I know.
Which I'm so happy about because we recorded our review before anybody had seen that movie. And so I had no idea how it was going to be received.
Right. Well, it has been, I think, mostly well received. I do see the comment here and there about people who didn't like it. And I think, frankly, they're wrong. We got an email from Krista who says, as I was reading through one of my favorite blogs, I saw this picture that the author took of a creamer she bought at Trader Joe's. It immediately made me think of you. Maybe you already know about this, but if not, maybe you can try and enjoy it. So we were recently talking about how much I love an oat milk latte as featured in A Newport Christmas. And she sent a picture of a Trader Joe's non-dairy oat creamer in gingerbread flavor. Now, that does sound delicious. I wonder if it's a little sweet and a little spicy.
I love a gingerbread latte. In fact, I had one this morning and I have purchased this in the past and I will be repurchasing it. I like the Trader Joe's oat creamers a lot. And they're not too overly sweet.
Did you get a gingerbread latte from Starbucks?
I did.
I thought they stopped making those.
They did, and they brought it back.
Oh, like this year, or has it been brought back?
Well, last year they had the gingerbread chai, and so I think you could order. I don't know if it was on a gingerbread latte was on their menu, but this year it's in the app. Like gingerbread latte is in the app. Fun fact. It doesn't show up on their like, here's our holiday lineup of drinks.
Really?
I never saw it on any of those images, but then I went in the app and it's right there. So yes, you can get a gingerbread latte at Starbucks this year.
I gotta tell you, I went last week when they dropped the Christmas drinks, the holiday drinks, and I got a sugar cookie something or other. Blech. It's gross.
Yeah, I'm not actually the biggest fan of most of their holiday drinks, but I love the gingerbread. But I was reminded once again today that I need to order it half as sweet as it comes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was probably the problem with the sugar cookie latte that I got. It was too sweet.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a princess. My daughter was mobile ordering for me, and I was like, okay, I need you to change the cup size, and I need you to add extra ice, and I need you because they make their lattes with hot espresso.
Oh, yeah.
And then it melts the ice, and then I like a lot of ice in my drink, so I order a larger cup with extra ice.
Got it.
That's my trick. Next up, we have an email from Tracy on what Scott Speedman from Felicity is up to. And I cannot for the life of me. I know we recently talked about Team Ben versus Team Noel. Oh, was it on Patreon? No, what were we talking about?
I don't remember. I don't remember at all.
Do you remember we had that conversation?
Yeah, we said Scott Speedman should be in a Hallmark movie.
Yeah, we were talking about Felicity. I don't remember why, but Tracy says, I love listening to your podcast. Your movies reviews are always spot on and so much fun. You mentioned Scott Speedman and we're wondering what he's up to. My daughter works in film production in Wilmington, North Carolina, where she just started working on Scott's new series, R.J. Decker. It's going to air on ABC. She jokes that she could work on an Academy Award-winning movie, but I'd be more impressed if she worked on a Hallmark Christmas movie. Thanks so much for sharing your thoughts and insight in such a delightful way. Enjoy the holiday season.
So I guess Scott Speedman is not on Grey's Anatomy anymore. Didn't Sweet Ben from Felicity go to medical school at the very end? I think he did.
That's nice.
So,
It's a nice little continuity piece right there.
Hey, I have an email from Paula regarding Christmas on Duty. Before I talk about the email, I did ask in our Facebook group, like for people to rank their movies so far from best to worst. And Christmas on Duty was in the bottom for many, many.
You know what I was surprised by? I saw that list, and I think I saw some people, if I'm remembering correctly, ranking the Angel movie below Christmas on Duty,
Yeah, I don't get it. I like that movie.
which I was surprised by.
I wonder why people didn't like it. Hey, if you didn't like A Christmas Angel Match, is that what it was called? With Benjamin Ayers and Megan Ori. Email us. I'm just curious why. Like, what didn't work for you in that movie? I liked that movie. Do I think it was the best of the season so far? No, but I thought it was super enjoyable.
I agree with you. This is interesting. One person ranks Christmas on Duty above both A Christmas Angel Match and A Royal Montana Christmas.
Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, very interesting. Hop into our Facebook group, Girls Gone Hallmark, if you want to see. Everyone's rankings are here. Well, let's hear from Paula.
She writes, remember when I told you I was wary of Christmas on Duty? My worst fears were realized. First of all, the plot was stupid and the relationship between the two leads was unbelievable. Bases have huge morale, welfare, and rec departments funded by the Navy Exchange, a large retail department store. They could have done everything.
Ooh.
The biggest problem, once again, is how clueless Hallmark is about the armed forces. Everything about it is off. As usual, everyone is too old. Colonels are in their mid-40s. They're most likely not grandparents. Zoe is a captain. She would not be intimidated by a retired sergeant major. She should be his boss. There would be a mutual respect. Getting into the infantry isn't hard. If you're a good officer, you'll probably get to be a company commander at the basic school. You don't brown nose to get it. Lastly, only once did I hear one person call it the Corps. That's absurd. Marines use that term constantly. The Army is the military. The Marines are the Corps and also part of the Navy. Paula, fired up.
Paula's fired up. I obviously didn't know any of this, but I did kind of assume that it wouldn't have been the job of these two people to go make Christmas happen.
Right. That was one of my biggest complaints about the movie. You know, it is interesting. I hadn't thought about like those who are watching this movie, like those who are into armed forces. Are they just like, God, they got this all wrong? And someone like me who doesn't know, all that information just kind of washes over me, right?
Sure.
But if I was watching a movie that was like heavily about like a stay-at-home mom, or, we've even talked about it, like volunteers at school, like we'll be like, that's not how that works, you know? So Paula has every right to be.
I think it's like medical professionals watching medical shows.
Right.
And how many came out of the woodwork with The Pit saying it was the most realistic medical show they had ever seen on television. So it was fun to watch for them because they were like, this is what it's really like.
Yeah.
Well, Paula wrote a follow-up email and she says, I'm not watching Mr. Christmas or The Mystery Show since I was so...
The Mystery Show? Mistletoe Murders?
Yeah.
Cute.
Since I was so negative on Christmas on Duty, I wanted to say the opposite about Newport Christmas. For all its ineptitude with the armed forces, they know how to make a Christmas time travel movie. This was great.
I agree. But Paula, you should definitely be watching Finding Mr. Christmas and The Mystery movie.
The Mystery Show?
The Mystery Show. Mistletoe Murders. You should definitely be watching those.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Those are two of my favorite things.
Our next email is from Sarah, and it's about a Newport Christmas. She says, hi, Megan and Wendy. I just finished a Newport Christmas, and I'm completely blown away. Two absolute hits already this Christmas season, the first being Ted Cooper. I'm with y'all about quality being way more important than quantity, and I think we're getting that this season. Keith Costumes did a stunning job, both with the modern and period costumes. I hope you can get him back on the podcast to hear about his experience with this movie. I'd love to know how he sourced the period costumes, the inspiration for the modern and final gowns, and working with Jenna, Claire, Mason, and Wes Brown. I'd give this a 9.5 on the smoochometer, 2 great kisses and a forehead kiss. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this one. One part did confuse me. When Francis is taking a tour group through the atrium, he says that the space was an addition, a gift from Lord to Lady Grafton in 1891. But how could that be possible if they didn't meet until 1905? I have no idea who Lord and Lady Grafton are.
They're talking about her parents. They're not talking about Ella and Rex.
Ah, I see.
That's how it's possible.
All right. That makes more sense.
We would love to have Keith Costumes back on the podcast in the future. He's a friend of the show. He is not doing press this season, so he will not be back during the holidays, but we will try and talk him into coming back sometime soon.
Yeah. I mean, I think if people are interested in wanting to know the details.
I know. Did you hear that, Keith? Lisa emails regarding our review of Snow Bride. She says, I listened to your ladies' review of Snow Bride today. It's one of my favorite movies. It's so funny that you said Jordan Belfi didn't have a lot of sex appeal or bad boy vibes. We're both cocking our heads. I don't remember saying that at all, but maybe we did. I was in Waikiki Beach and got on an elevator, and he and another guy were on the elevator. I didn't know who he was, but I knew he was an actor, so I asked him, and he said yes. I asked him what I would have seen him in, and he named off a few shows, and I was like, don't watch that. Don't watch that. Then he looked at me and said, do you watch Hallmark Christmas movies? And I said, yes. And then I realized he was in Snow Bride. However, I have a major crush on Bobby Campo, so I said, you played Bobby's brother, which I think kind of insulted him. He said, I was the lead. I got the girl. And I said, yes. And he was great and sucked up to him and made him feel better. He said, Katrina Law is wonderful to work with and even more beautiful in person. In fact, he was there filming a show.
Was this recent? She was recently in Waikiki Beach and saw him there, and he was filming a show.
Great follow-up.
For now? Like a forthcoming show?
Great questions.
Lisa, write in.
Indeed.
I remember that movie and like that movie. I don't remember who Jordan Belfi is, though.
He's the lead, but I'm not sure I could pick him out of a lineup.
I remember thinking maybe they might have like toned him down a little bit in terms of his appeal. Mm-hmm. I don't remember, but I did like that movie a lot. Our next email is from Mackie. She's our Facebook moderator, by the way, just all around great human being. Thank you, Mackie, for all your work you do. And
she's so good.
I love all your emails, too. She writes, hi, Megan and Wendy. I happened to notice on my second viewing of the movie that Ella's company in Christmas Above the Clouds is named Great Expectation Trips. Christmas Above the Clouds is adapted from A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and Great Expectations is another novel written by Charles Dickens. I did not catch that.
There were a lot of Charles Dickens references throughout the movie. The little boy who Jake gives math problems to turns around at one point and says, please, can I have some more? Which is an Oliver Twist Charles Dickens thing. There were quite a few. My neighbor was talking about it. He had a whole list that he had noticed from that.
Does he want to come on the show and talk about it?
Probably he would. Rob, are you listening? They're also watching Mistletoe Murders, and he wanted me to let Hallmark know that the fake felt snow in Mistletoe Murders is distracting, which honestly, I have not noticed.
Haven't even noticed at all.
I haven't either. It is filmed in the summer, though.
Yeah, I've seen worse.
Oh, for sure. Our final email is from Eliza. She sent a long, thoughtful email about the television series event, Providence Falls, and I'm just including a few snippets here. She says, I too am taking people's negative reviews of this show personally. It's giving me trust issues with people and their opinions, like they don't know a good thing when they see it. I personally loved The Angels. I thought it was comedic to have some outdated version of Heaven. The two angels were amazing comedic relief and added an element of fun to the movie that was super unique. Next up, the flashbacks. I'm not sure why these bothered people so much. I was blown away by how seamless, perfectly timed, and truly relevant the flashbacks were. Every one of them was necessary to understanding the story. I liked how they used Aegon's VCR moments, Cora's dreams, and Liam's memories as ways to go back in time to show who these two characters were, to give context to their deep connection and love, and to present the idea that history was repeating itself. Sometimes, with such a niche audience like Hallmark viewers are, I think they get stuck in their ways and can't appreciate anything outside of the box. It's one of my biggest annoyances with the Hallmark fandom. Like, if this was put on Netflix as a top 10 movie of the week, I think people would have loved it so much more.
I don't think she's wrong there.
I agree. I think it would do really well on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. What are your thoughts about the Hallmark viewers and being stuck in their ways?
Well, I think Providence Falls was a misstep in promotion. Mm-hmm. I think calling it a 3-part special event, it's a movie trilogy.
Yeah.
People know what a trilogy is. Mm-hmm. They understand that. I don't know if it was asking too much of the Hallmark viewer to require them to watch all 3 movies. Whereas when you have The Groomsmen or The Wedding Veil, you really could watch any one of those individually and understand it and enjoy it without the backstory.
Mm-hmm.
But I would encourage the listeners, I do know that that wasn't the biggest hit on Hallmark, but I do think it was incredibly well made. And I think a lot of people who watched it enjoyed it. And so I would encourage you to go in without expectation and give it a try, because I think it's incredibly well made and the storytelling is well done and the acting is high caliber.
I agree.
Cool. Well, if you want another listener mailbag from us, you know what to do. We love your emails and your voice messages. And if you love this podcast, we really love your 5-star ratings and reviews. You can drop them right in the Apple Podcast app. We'll be back next time with more Hallmark reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.